The magic lives in all the corners you cut. I don't even want you to tell me if you're cutting corners, but where are you cutting corners? And in this video, I'll specifically be talking about skill, because I've noticed this a lot. Last year, I was coaching this guy and he would send me an email, I would rewrite it and tell him exactly what I did and why I did the way I did it. And now his problem was that this guy could not write a whole email without AI for the life of him. I told him specifically, do not use it. Let's see how you do without it. I don't want you to use it right now. Maybe one day, sure, but not until you get really, really good without it. What this guy does is he says, sure, fine man, I'll do it, Alessandro, I'll do it. Next email, I see like 7 AI tells. And I call him out on that. And he says, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, I was lazy. Okay, do it again. This guy uses it fucking again. Like, I'm not blind. You can try and hide it as much as you want. I know exactly what a human writes and what a human doesn't write. And I catch this guy again. And I call him out again. And what he says is, no, I didn't use it. No, I swear, I didn't use it. Either he lies, and that's okay, fine, he lied. But 2, perhaps he used it so much that he started to sound like ChatGPT. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know that one friend where you're like, hey, you want to go to a bar? And he's like, oh, a bar. That's a very relatable and cool idea. I absolutely get the vibe that you're going for, but what bars did you have in mind? You know, the ChatGPT friend, that's that guy. Do not write so much with ChatGPT that you start sounding like it, because that's abysmal, man. So the magic lives in all the corners you cut. And again, you're only focused on outreach because obviously that's what makes you money. And I understand that, because that's what everyone is making videos about. They're always telling you, outreach this, my new method dropped, this and that. But that's keeping you stuck. For example, let me give a very, very easy and clear example. There's this famous method where you're sending free value to people. You're writing up an email for them, you're writing a landing page, and you're sending it perhaps also with a Loom explanation. I've seen that method work a lot. However, what you don't understand is that if you're not a great copywriter and you write that, probably using AI, because if they're not even a client, you probably don't even want to put in any effort, they will know. The coaches are not stupid. If they go out into 6, mid 6, 7 figures, they're good at marketing. They've had copywriters. They'll sniff out your bullshit from a mile away. And they should. They fucking should, alright? You have to wow them if you're doing something like that, if you're sending them free value. It has to be really, really good if you want to stand out. Why? Because everyone is doing it. Especially now with AI copywriting, you have so many people saying, hey man, I rewrote your welcome email for you. I rewrote the landing page, and it's just some AI bullshit made in 10 minutes. And so their inbox is now even full of those type of messages, which before were regarded as the gold standard of outreach, just doing some free value. But you have to stand out now. You have to be better than 99% of the other copywriters in your clients' DMs if you even want to have a fighting chance. And I teach you how to become that copywriter in my free resource. First link in the description, and you'll also opt into my email list, see how a real professional copywriter handles his emails, and you'll go into the most fun welcome sequences I've ever seen. Trust me on that one. So where was I? I was saying that the only way to get clients in 2026 is by actually improving your skill. It's not by spamming more outreach, not by looking for the next fantastic method, because they all work, but they also don't all work at the same time. And when you're a great copywriter, all of them feel easy, because game recognizes game, because you show up on that sales call knowing that you are a G, that you know what you're doing. When they ask you, how do you approach email marketing? How do you approach this? How do you track your metrics? You give answers that are so deep that then they have no objections because they trust you. If you and I got in a conversation and someone was listening, they would immediately see who's the person that just watched a few videos, maybe got a course and just relies on chat, and who's the person who does it, lives it, breathes it, and shits it. And that's what I want you to do. That's who I want you to be. Not only because it will be much, much easier to get clients, because you will trust me. Also, by the way, before I get into the second thing that is even more important, I want you to know that clients want to outsource. They want copywriters. They want to give some tasks to specialists and to save time and go sunbathe in Thailand, okay? They want that. But it's just that everybody sucks. And if you've heard about the outreach crisis or whatever that's like going on right now, that everyone says that it's so difficult to get clients, yeah, for you. Yeah, for you, because if not, I'm not gonna be insulting. Yeah, maybe for you because you're not at a peak level yet, but you can be. You really, really can be. You just have to commit to it. It's even not even hard. Again, first link in the description. You'll immediately become better. And now the second thing, you want to get clients, and that's why I want to be good, but you also want to retain clients. Because that's the secret. That's the thing nobody talks about, right? Retaining clients. If you're not good, let me flip it. If you're very, very good, and you can take care of their content and emails and landing pages, sales pages, you can make decisions, offers, you can implement everything in the back end, make automations, they will never get rid of you because it will be too expensive to get rid of you. And that's what I want you to think about. If you want a career, a business, you cannot always rely on 1 to 2 months gigs. And if you're not yet at the stage where you've got clients, trust me, a lot of these people cannot retain them for shit because their emails are boring, they lose readership, and they lose people over time, make the business owner a bit of money in the beginning, but then less, and less. And that's the reality for a lot of these corner-cutting, lazy AI copywriters. But when you retain clients, you can actually stack retainers. You can stop doing outreach one day. And that's when life is really, really cool. When you're not outreaching to anyone, you're just working for your clients, they fucking love you, and you're done in a few hours. And then you know that you're safe because you got a couple and they all need you for their survival. It's a bit manipulative. Whatever, we don't care about that. So when you get good, you will retain them. And now this part will be a little bit of a more philosophical part. I mean, I guess this whole video is, but it's very, very important. And I want you to think of yourself as this. Give me a second, please. While you're waiting for me to write this, you could go opt into my email list, just saying. Think of yourself as a craftsman, and copy is your life's work. This is a mantra that has really given me so much direction, fulfillment, and purpose in life. Because to be honest, if you're not constantly getting better, if you're just outsourcing your core skill, and you just want to focus on doing less and earning more, first of all, that doesn't work. Long term, it really doesn't work. But two, how deeply unfulfilling that is. And I know you might be in a state right now where you're just thinking, bro, I don't give a fuck about it being fulfilling. I just want money. But you do know that these two things come together, right? What's the likelihood of you earning more money, getting more clients, and living a better life if you actually love what you're doing? If you write and you look out of your window at some lights and you think, fuck yes, like this is it. That's what happens when you improve on every single email you write. Where every time you write something, you're thinking, how can I do better? You analyze it. Just like I do with these videos. I film it and then I watch it and I'm like, okay, what could I have said better? How could I have been more concise? How could have my sentences been a little bit less like I'm from Africa, you know? Still working on that one. So think about that. How can I say think about that less when I don't know what to say? And this has helped me seriously write like a fucking machine. I can write so many emails. I can write so much in one day. And then stacks 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 because I got it fast. and because I genuinely love it. But I know you. I know when you prompt ChatGPT, you don't feel this sense of accomplishment because you're not creating anything with your hands. Now, of course, some people are going to say that that's not the point. The point is business. The point is money. But why are you even chasing all of this if not to live a better life, if not to live a more fulfilled life and to be happy with your work? And by the way, don't forget that I'm telling you that it will also work better because clients will see it, appreciate it, you'll stand out. Not just because it's not AI, but because you're way better than everybody else. And then you will also retain clients because you know what the fuck you're doing, because you're not outsourcing every decision and every minor thing to fucking Claude. So what do I recommend when I say that I want you to get good? A few things. I want you to learn a few things. So, I want you to learn storytelling. Storytelling is so important. And if you've ever read a fiction book, like a good fiction book, let's say Stephen King, right? Or just any fiction book, you can see elements of the fiction book and compare it to how AI does stories, right? It's a world of a difference. Of course, I'm not telling you to be Stephen King. However, you can borrow a lot of things from fiction and actually use it in your copy to make vivid stories. And the more vivid they are, the more fun they are to read, the better you are as a copywriter because you will retain readership and get more sales over time because it's entertaining. And so you'll have people reading each and every one of your clients' emails for years on end. And then obviously they're going to buy multiple times. Whereas where you only focus on problem, agitate, solution emails, like most people are telling you to, you might make a few sales in the beginning, but then readership will drop off because no one likes actually reading those emails. So this one is a huge point of differentiator, and by the way, of differentiation. And when a client sees that you wrote a story with a lot of dialogue, with vivid actions, monologue, feelings, emotions, they will be genuinely impressed. And impressing a client is the most important thing at the beginning because you're never going to sign them if what they see at the beginning is not impressive. And by the way, it also gets more sales, just saying. Next, I want you to learn relationships. This is not a get some bitches thing, this is relationship in marketing, where you have to understand that what we're doing with email actually is getting relationships. We're nurturing relationships. We're making the reader trust us, know us more after every email, and feel like they have a personal connection with us. Because then when they feel the pain points, you, or your client actually, is going to be the first person that they will buy from as soon as they actually feel the pain points and have the means to buy. Because that might not be instantaneously right now, that might be in a couple months from now. Next thing that I want you to learn is our offers. How do you make amazing offers? What is a great offer that you can tell your client, let's put this bonus, let's make this offer to our email list, let me promote it this way, and bam, it's going to be fantastic, you'll make a ton of sales. I do this for my clients, I consult them on it, and then I also run the promos, and then they make 20K in a day, and it's just a fantastic moment for them. Next, we have trust, branding, and worth following. I'll get into all three of these. So trust, again, we touched on this in the relationship part. However, if you can get your audience to trust you and understand that you are on their side and that you're not merely trying to sell them something, then that works fantastically well. And you just do this by picking fights with people and ideologies that you disagree with. For example, I'm very against this whole new wave of AI copywriting, make more, work way less, and just don't even put in any effort, make a lot of money. Because I think that these people sell you that dream so they can sell you stuff. And I do not say that. Even if that means that some people will be turned off by me, even though that might mean that some people are going to go buy from them because they see that as a shortcut and they see me saying actually get good and they're like, fuck no, I don't want this. But I'm doing this because I think it is right. And when you can convey that in your clients' emails, over the long term, you'll get so many more sales. You get a much better relationship with the list. And again, you'll be irreplaceable. Something that AI doesn't do because it does not think long term, it just writes an email, okay? So don't do that. Trust. And then branding. How can you make your client build a brand, kind of a personal brand? How can you make him or her consistent throughout the emails and develop their character? Learn that. For example, one of my clients is an older dude, so his sentences when I write dialogue are very, very short. I wouldn't say, yeah, let's go do that. I just say, fine, for example. And then worth following. What does this mean? How do you make a newsletter worth following? How do you balance value, giving value, as well as entertaining, but so that the value isn't a lot of hard value that they'll just get bored by and not even act on because they haven't paid anything. But still, how do you change your minds and beliefs over time and still make it as interesting as possible so that they open your emails for months, and end up buying a repeat and becoming a repeat customer? These are the main things that I want you to focus on. And if you can learn these, if you can think about them a little bit, and when you're writing your next emails, if you're like, how can I incorporate storytelling, relationships, and trust? Let's not even talk about any of these. Okay, how can I just incorporate these things? Let me try. If you do that every single time you write an email, you will become so good, you will be impossible to ignore. And that's how you get clients in 2026. Again, first link in the description is my anti-beginner email copywriting guide, where I show you how to instantly become one of the copywriters that can join the ranks of people who actually get clients and who are actually impressive and retain them and get a shitload of sales for them. First link in the description. See you.